going live just for the fun of it. All right, let's see what happens here. Let me see what happens. Copy. Paste it. All right, there's that. Now we need some bagpipes. All right. There we go. No. I need more. I need more. More. You know what we need here? Bagpipes that last a long time. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, God. I'm going to copy this. I wonder if I'll get a copy strike. We'll see. Present. Podcast show screen. I'm just trying to share. What I'm doing right now is I'm just. Anybody can jump in if you want. Happy birthday. I was going to invite some people to come hang out. Have a great time. Come on. Speak. Well, anyhow. Extra cam video file image share screen. How do I present my bagpipes? I want present or invite video file. No. So I'm setting up using the new StreamYard. Extra cam. How do you present something? So this is what I want to present. Right here. I'm going to post the bagpipes. New layout. So it's Friday night. I'm working on StreamYard, trying to figure out how to what are we doing here? I don't want to save you, and I want to show me bagpipes. I've got bagpipes. Oh, that's awful. There. I'm back. Hello, Jason. I am trying to use. Here's Jason. Hello, Jason. Trying to present media presentation. Okay. I wonder, how do you present media? so I can, you know. So I'm just meandering through this right now, learning how to do StreamYard. Delete that scene. This scene is currently active on Sage. Delete it! Hope I don't delete myself. Demo scene. I mean, the best way to learn TV stuff, TV stuff. So what I went to school for. I went to school to do TV production. And the only way I really learned how to do stuff was to just smash the buttons and try to blow it up. That's what education is. By the way, if anyone wants to jump on, go ahead. But if not, it's okay. Invite guests. Okay, so we got that. We did that. Old man, take a look at yourself. I'm only 60 something. How old are you? Probably 20. I'm in vertical right now. Well, I got StreamYard has a big boy, you old man. Me old man, yeah. Oh wow. All right, that's not bad. I'm in my 60s, but still immature. That's what counts. What would really be great? Share screen. I wonder if image file, extra camera, slides, PDFs. Boy, it's a who knows media assets. Banners, comments. Let me just push a button, share screen, see what happens. Sharing is screen sharing is easy with two monitor sharing. Works best on two computers. Ah, yes. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, got your bagpipes. Oh, there it is. Can you hear that? All right. Hey, Bubs. Zepp? So I would like to go to Ireland. I seriously would. I got friends, they are missionaries to Ireland. Ireland, they had saints. You couldn't swing a dead cat in Ireland without hitting a saint. And then I guess maybe it was about the time of the Reformation. It seems like the water spout of saintliness got turned off, which is kind of a bummer. And and then it seems like ortho's just been hitting the big time. Oh, you go to a Friends Church? What is a Friends Church like? Was that an offshoot of Quakers? I'm not sure. They're not charismatic. I am the charismaniac. But Friends, the Quakers, I know they have, they sit quietly and they quit at times. So can you guys hear the bagpipes? If you can, give me an indication. Appreciate it. For some reason, I like to. For some reason, I like to listen to tornadoes. Bagpipes are like that. I think bagpipes are musical tornado sirens. Okay, thanks. Um, yeah, the Quakers are cool. I mean, to be honest, they sound kind of charismatic. If you quake under the presence of God, that's pretty charismatic. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm just saying it sounds pretty cool. So my friend Kelly is out somewhere in the Emerald Isle. Is that what they call Ireland? Emerald Isle? Or the Green Land? Anyhow, Ireland. She's there, and it seems like it's a pretty tough place to minister. Let's see if I can bring this up for some. Oh, I want it back. Hey, get back there. I lost my bagpipes. Extra video file. Like I said, folks, I'm learning here. Sorry that you're. I know, Jason, you like to. Oh, there we go. You like to listen to. I live by a university that has 4 stacks of these massive, like ancient air horns, sirens. You like them, and that would give you joy to listen to them. They're pretty beastly. So anyhow, but for me, bagpipes do it. So my friend Kelly's in Ireland, and it's tough going for the charismatic folk. You know, as that's interesting because theologically, I have some differences with the people I hang out with, but really, at this point in my life, I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to just go to any place. I go to a place in Muncie, Indiana. It's a Tabernacle of Praise, and very Pentecostal. But I'm very much Catholic adjacent. Not Catholic myself, but I like.
Joy is very
I
hard to come by
like
whenever you're gone.
The charismatic because the gifts of the Spirit are in operation for sure. The preaching is a little bit wonky at times. What I mean by wonky, it's not bad. It's just not deep. I don't know, but the people are okay, and that's uh, all right. That StreamYard, add to stage. Oh, look at that! I'm a professional. I wonder if there's sound though. Scotsman, the Irish. Yeah, I'm new to streaming totally. Oh, hey, Risto. Wait a second. That's the stage. Wait a second.
Hello.
Are we there, sir?
Yeah.
All right, Bob.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. I've got a music bed
I can put in headphones if it's echoey.
No. I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Risto? Let me turn
Yep.
this. Let me turn off. And they're gone.
All right.
The bagpipes are gone.
There we go.
Yeah.
How's it going?
There we go. How's it going, man? What you up to?
Oh, not much. I could just pop on for a little bit, and I'm going to go for a walk off some of the guacamole I just had.
All right. What part? What time zone do you live in, if you don't mind? I'm just curious.
Central
Like
time zone.
it's 9 o'clock. Oh,
Central
okay.
time zone in
That's not
Minnesota.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Minnesota. Hey, you guys,
Minnesota.
are you gonna get hit by that storm?
I guess so.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna get buried, or is it just normal Minnesota?
It's not too bad. Last I heard, it was maybe like 5, 6 inches, something like that.
And usually, and I hope I'm wrong. No, well, let me rephrase this. In my part of the woods, I live north of Indianapolis, Indiana, and um, if they say 3 to 5, I'll I'll go 2. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I mean, they try, but up here it sounds like it's pretty nasty storm coming.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
should double check. I should double check.
yeah, you guys might be getting hammered a touch. I know Illinois is looking to get hammered, and then so what what theological flavor are you? Because I've seen you around, but I've never had a chance to talk with you.
I grew up Nazarene, which is, I don't know if you're
Okay,
familiar with them.
a little
But
bit, not much, but not
they're
against.
kind of Methodist flavored, maybe some old Pentecostal back stuff in the background, but not as much these days. But you
Really?
encounter it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, because
Okay.
they started in LA, like Azusa Street.
Really?
They had some of their origins in there. So it's kind of
Oh wow.
yeah. And and then so I grew up that way and spent some of my early adult years in that church.
Hmm.
And then eventually left and went to a Calvary Chapel for a bit.
Oh, now was this what state of America was that in? Calvary Chapel, L.A.
This was in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Cool.
Yeah. And we mostly went there because we knew the pastor.
Okay.
So he was friends of the family.
How'd you
Um,
like it?
yeah, we liked it. We really enjoyed the people. Um, I really respect the pastor. Um,
Hmm.
like I said, he was friends of the family, so we kind of knew them ahead of time.
Yeah.
And you know, like Zepp said in the chat, it's interesting what he said. He said, and you don't hear this much these days, although I think it's more common than you would think. But like community over theological distinctives in some way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm kind of more and more, even though I think I'm more interested in theology these days than I have been in the past, I do
Hmm.
think that community part is underappreciated, especially if you read the New Testament.
Well,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. These days I'm just kind of like, I don't know, homeless. Like I love some
Mm-hmm.
things about Catholicism and Orthodoxy and Pentecostal churches. And, like I feel like every time I learn about a new tradition or flavor or branch, I find things that I appreciate about them. Even Mormons, like there's some things that they do that I really liked too.
Oh wow. Now you're stretching me. I'm like, multiple wives. Do they do that? Is that the one that does that? I'm just teasing.
They don't do that. They don't do that anymore in this lifetime. I think technically the door is open for them in the next life for that, but in this life, it's against the rules.
Yeah, you only.
Yeah. But
well, okay.
But they have pretty decent community, and
yeah,
and their pastors, their local pastors aren't paid; they're volunteer. I think there's some upsides to that. And the mission that the young men and gals go on, I think that's a pretty formative. That's a pretty formative thing for them.
Yeah. I think community. Well, you know Luke Thompson. Have you ever listened to him or talk with him?
Yeah.
Luke was in. He had a pretty strong community, and he split that to become Orthodox. And I respect that because he couldn't stay there anymore in good conscience, I think. Whereas with me, I have some serious Catholic or Anglican leanings, but I don't care. Like, nobody's asking me to teach or preach or give doctrine or define it. And being Protestant, it's like, don't ask, don't tell. Like, if you have some Catholic leanings. And
yeah.
But in my area, there's a university by me, and they have a bunch of young Catholic communities that are just really bonding together. They're doing great community. I'll be honest, I'm jealous of them, and they pray like monsters. They're always staring at the can or at the cracker. And I was there for many years with them. And
what's the can?
Oh, and for anybody who's Catholic,
I know the cracker.
Yeah,
but
that was my slang for the can is the tabernacle, or the host, the Eucharist is the cracker. And if anyone's Catholic out there, I'm not trying to hate, but with that out the way, I would just
technically part of it is still a cracker, right? Because it's
I know, it is. Yeah. Right.
Is it the essence is still a cracker, so you're not
transubstantiation. Here we go.
Right. Yeah.
For 200, and it was either, I think the tabernacle is it's a can, but it's very ornate, and it's where you put the hosts in because they're consecrated and they want to protect them. And I don't know if it's monstrance, which is the ornate piece that holds the host. So, and it's funny is the veneration that they had for the environments. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but like at my church, like when the sanctuary is not being used, some of the kids will go use it to jog in. I'm like, whatever, man. We're all over the gambit for like holy, not holy. So
and I'm kind of okay with that. I think there's something about that relaxed is okay. Like Jesus seemed to be kind of pretty relaxed about a lot of things and kind of upset people for some of that. But also, I guess the flip side would be like, if I want to go pray somewhere, I'm probably tracking down a Catholic church just because it's more likely that the doors are open and they're not going to be freaked out that just someone came off the street to pray. So
now that you mention it, when I was little, the Catholic Church, actually a lot of the churches and synagogues were open all the time. I mean, it was a normal thing. They knew homeless people were going to be there, and that's cool because it gave them, sanctuary.
Yep.
And then you always had that drunk guy goes, my wife left me and I got nowhere else to go. And, it's that midnight hour conversion. And that's a real thing. So,
Right. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And then I love that exists, but then also Billy Graham existed. And it's, they're doing different things. And they're both good. I think it's easy to just criticize it without seeing the good parts of it.
I think, and this has got me in trouble with a Catholic fella who I shouldn't mention his name, but I will anyhow because I don't care.
Pope Leo.
No, Pope Leo. No, it's just his pseudonym. It's not even his real name. But I think I've seen God move in every name you'd ever name, Anglican, Catholic, Protestant. In every one of those environments, I've seen God move. And I realize now, it just doesn't matter because wherever people are at, you're going to have crazy. And wherever people are at, you're going to have God.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think, and this is controversial, but I bet if you look into the history of Mormonism, I bet there's been some movements of God there. I know I've heard individual stories.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay. Right.
But I don't know if I've heard
go ahead.
community wide. That would be interesting to hear something like that.
I'll throw you a bone on that one. And this is I'm going to be careful here because I feel a little bit convicted right now, even as I'm speaking. There are certain theologies I am not cool with, but I'm not here to crucify them or throw stones right now. With that out the way, there was a New Age girl. She's got her testimony on YouTube, and I just happened to come across it. She was like into Wiccan, New Age, and all that, and she got possessed. And she knew it, and she was a mess. And she called on Jesus. Like she's in her basement, and she sovereignly goes, God, I've screwed up. Jesus, help me. And then whammo, he comes in, lights her up. The demonic's gone. Love of God's flowing through her. And at the end of the video, she goes, man, this Jesus thing's right. And I guess I just have to go back to the Mormon church.
Oh, yeah.
But I had, at that point, I'll give you one more story if I may. At that point, I have to trust God I know she knows God. So if she has screwed up Zepp, hey Zepp, oh, there you are. Hey Zepp. Hi, bud.
Howdy.
So for this girl, I have to trust God for her, and I don't want to. My heresy, if it is, it's a wonderment, so it's not a heresy. When you get to heaven, he doesn't say, I'll judge you for your theology. I will judge you for your actions. And even if I'm called least in the kingdom of heaven, loving the cheap seats, don't care. Like a bad seat in heaven is better than the best seat in hell. So I'm very lenient there. So that's my rant. I'll save my other story for later.
Yeah, I there was this channel I used to follow where a Catholic guy, we ended up becoming friends, but a Catholic guy would interview different people from all kinds of different backgrounds. Mm-hmm. It was cool. It's very like randos, cornery. He would try to convert them to Catholicism, but he did a good job of getting their story. And one of the stories, I was just like I was moved by what this lady was saying. I was like, man, her heart is in the right place. You know, I could just sense the love in how she lived her life and served other people and had a genuine relationship with God. And then like
Right.
3/4 way through, I was like, found out she goes to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
I was a little surprised, but
Yeah.
I don't know, like we think are we gonna just restrict, like God can only work here, right? Like if he can't work within any mosques, no LDS church, you know, like he can only work within these walls and within these theological, like people have to have things just sorted out just so before he'll work with people. That doesn't seem right. It's not to dismiss, it's not to say like, oh, I'm ready to go join, you know, or that there's nothing wrong, or even like some major things that could lead people astray.
Right.
But it's just like we shouldn't be surprised that God colors outside the lines.
Right.
Yeah, my wife, her uncle and aunt, and then a bunch of her cousins are LDS. They live out west. And, you know, they just at a certain time in their lives, it's back to the community thing, right? They needed community, and those folks really embraced them and brought them in and helped them out. I don't know the whole story, but that's just what brought them in. And then they raised their kids there, and kids all did the mission and everything. Yeah, pretty good experience with it. And you know, I'm not super close with them, but they're definitely Christians and good people. I mean,
Right.
shoot, they're great. You know?
Yeah.
Is LDS? Is that Warren Jessup or the fellow that got busted for? And the only reason I ask is some of my friends knew him, and
Really?
No, he was like a Mormon offshoot, like fundamentalist, but not LDS.
Okay. Well, they knew him, and they were. He had evil theology. Like they talked to him.
Yeah.
And so I guess if you so let's say you're not being evil bad. If you just have bad theology, I wonder how lenient God is.
No, I think he's probably looking at your intent, right? He sees the heart. We don't see that. I mean, you know, I've had a mixed bag experience in lots of denominations. I've been in Church of God, Tennessee, which is pretty, you know, spirit filled. I planted one with some friends. I was raised Catholic. I did that about 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yep. Went to Catholic school, church, you know, and had really good experiences, but also 3 of the 5 priests I knew were credibly accused of, you know, sexual immorality.
Oh, dude. Oh, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, and the way that went down is the bishop at one point, just for transparency's sake, just released all the names. And so you don't know anything about what happened with those individuals or what the case might be. It's just like, these people were credibly accused. Here's a long list.
Yeah.
Their names are on it. And that was pretty disappointing. But, you know,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I've been in different other denominations too that have had.
What did you like about? Because for me, what impressed me about the Catholic world was how much people prayed in general, just how normal it was.
Oh yeah.
And that was.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what I really like about it is, you know, once you get into Vervaeke a little bit, and he talks about participatory knowing. There's a lot to participate in, and there's a lot of depth of meaning in the liturgy. Now, I don't know how many people know how deep it goes, but I mean, there's depth that it just goes as deep as you want to go. Like the priest wears certain vestments and they all have a meaning. There's some of the vestments they wear that are under the vestments that you never see that have meaning. But of course, I was an altar boy, so I saw all that stuff. And I got to know the priest personally. And then as an altar boy, you get to participate in a pretty unique way, where you're up there and there's certain parts of the service where the priest will say something and he says it quietly. It's a prayer.
Yeah.
You experience that firsthand. There's a part where he asks God to wash away his personal sins. And then you have this little canter of water and you pour it over his hands. And then he wipes off on a special cloth that you take back over to a table. And there's a whole kind of ritual thing there that you get to participate in a way that was meaningful for me, even as like a fifth grader when I was doing it. I would be the altar boy for funerals and different things. I was altar for a funeral of a man who passed in our neighborhood. It was the first person I really knew that had passed away. It's pretty meaningful. So there's a lot of things like that I find lacking in the evangelical world, where the church I'm at now is great too. It's excellent. But we meet in a gym, dual purpose room, and we don't really have communion. And it's basically the standard evangelical sing songs, hear sermon, go home. So my point is, when Vervaeke talks about ecology of practices, and in an evangelical Protestant church, sometimes the only things you have are, well, read your Bible and pray, and that's kind of it. and maybe I'm only experiencing that as a lack because I have that Catholic background, but I feel like if there were more practices,
you should go back home. The Catholics are calling you.
Oh, you're speaking my dad's language now. He's always telling me that.
Oh, I know. I'm just busting your chops.
Well,
that's all good.
That, I mean, I have a lot of holy jealousy for different traditions, and lots in Catholicism, especially the more I've explored it. But finding good community is pretty high on my list. A community where it's more like the corner, where people are honest about stuff and care about connecting with each other and not just going through the motions. And, as much as I love about Catholicism and Orthodoxy and the ritual and all of that, the depth there, I don't really get the vibe that they have the corner on the market on that spirit-filled community. If they did, I would just go. I would just be a part of it, and even not be a member. Even though they're like, you can't participate in the body and blood of your Lord. I don't know why they get to say that, but anyways, I would still be part of that community. And secretly, when we're eating bread and drinking wine around their table, I'll be thinking of Jesus.
There are, Ron, I don't know, Ron, you may not know this, but there are a lot of spirit-filled Catholics.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean,
I do.
People where it's very active. Yeah, very active.
Well, I was, for 6 years, I went to St. Francis of Assisi, St. Francis, that's the church, they call it. And that's where I know all these guys from. And I used to pray with them a lot. And I went to RCIA, and I got involved with, it's called Encounter Ministries, which is the charismatic evangelical arm, or and so
you dropped her on.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. So anyhow, but yeah, it's funny. I think that church in charismatic is like any Protestant church. Some are going to be cool with it, and others are going to be runaway.
Yep.
So it's a mixed bag. But it was surprisingly accepting. So yeah, and it's funny, but the college kids were a lot more fun to hang out with than the older folks, because they were actually into praying and seeking the face of God, and a lot of them were becoming priests and nuns. And I threw my back out when I was at work on campus, and there was a prayer meeting going on, and there was this one normal Catholic college student, Emily, still friends after several years. And she is not mega charismatic. And I'm like, there was a thought in my head, because I'm Mr. Charismatic. And there was a voice in my head was like, why don't you get off your high horse and have Emily pray for you? I'm like, let's do this. And long story short, she prays, I get healed. Charismatic moment in Catholic Church for sure.
Nice.
That was, yeah. And it was, and then after that, we just hung out, and you get to share in the community where there's healing, and there's something to it when you can share each other's experiences, good and bad, but really good helps. And I think I miss that the most. I have that in my church, but it's not as rooted together. Like when trees grow by each other, their roots interlock. And I think a good community is like that. I think it's something to strive after. I think so. So, Zepp, what is your theological flavor? How do you land in the world
I
of
can't
that?
put it in my name there. I'm a Friends now. I go to the Friends Church.
Oh, cool.
Which is comes from the Quakers. I guess that's not the cool word to use these days.
No.
But I was like saying that to Risto in the comments. It's kind of ironic because I go there because I have friends there. It's like literally.
Right.
Like, so, my wife and I, we owned a business for a long time, and it took a lot of our time and energy. But we did I think it was about 2010 or so, we helped plant a church, and that went pretty well for a couple years. And then we had to leave for various reasons, but I still speak with that pastor. Actually, I'm going to meet with him in a couple weeks just to catch up. But and then we took a break for a long time. Like we just kind of we had a hard time
from church.
Yeah, it was probably not the wisest thing to do, to be honest. And then,
how long were you out?
Oh, it was years, quite a few.
Wow.
We would go different places. Now for about 10 years, we went to there's a local evangelical megachurch we went to, and we were pretty involved there when the kids were small. We did all kinds of stuff, but then we left to do the church plant, and then we were out for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And then when COVID hit, owning the business was just crazy. I mean, it was just crazy. And then all my kids were teenagers at that point. They're all working at the shop. We're trying to just keep things going. And we kind of fell away from church there for a while. And that was...
What brought you back?
Well, just, I would say you just feel God calling you.
That's cool.
Like, this is, it's a mixture of like, this is not right. I'm not, there's something in it just doesn't seem,
okay.
I'm not living right. But my wife and I, we both grew up in strong Christian families. Her dad's a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Of,
was it? And I don't mean to be too personal. Oh, okay, cool. And I don't mean to be too personal. You don't have to answer directly. But what bumped you out? Like, was it?
We really got burnt out by the church plant thing. We went pretty much all out for 14 months.
Yeah.
Just, my wife did the youth, the children's ministry. Our kids were small.
Mhm.
She did that straight for 14 months. So she didn't go to a church service for 14 months because
Oh.
nobody else would pick
Oh.
anything up. It was a younger church. It was millennials at the time, but everybody was kind of 20s. And
Can I tell you something? I think the Catholics do right is they have all the kids in service, and they don't care if you're bawling and squalling. They're like, "Behold my body," and they're like, "Don't care. We're gonna just keep going." I'm like,
I do like that as well. Like, I think, and we had many conversations. One of the groups I was on at the megachurch was called an experience group, where we were supposed to figure out how could we incorporate whatever the message was. How could we give it like first of all, how could we create an experience out of it during the service, if that was possible? And then also, could we apply it to children's ministry? Because they would always separate, the kids would always separate, like, before the service. Because sometimes, if we thought it was appropriate, we bring the kids back in, and they just kind of come up to the front and participate and serve. But it was mostly just singing songs, and that was a big, kind of a sticking point for me with that. We would talk about it regularly, but it was just logistically really hard because of the way, when you would come in, you would take your kid to class, and then it was basically me who installed a computer system that you would get a label printed. And because there was we had 570 kids in our youth ministry.
Holy schmoly.
Yeah. So not in every not every service or every Sunday, but that's how many kids were in the ministry. That's just fifth grade and under.
So that's crazy.
It was serious. And so what would happen is, though, you're a teacher and you wouldn't know all the kids in your class. They just come in. They might come in 1 week out of 20 or whatever. Yeah. So you're like, how do I know this kid goes with that parent?
Yeah.
Right? So the system would print a code, and then you would literally put the sticker on the kid with the code, their name and a code on it, and the parent would have a code to match.
Yeah.
If they didn't have the matching code, you didn't release the kid.
You didn't get a child. No receipt.
Yeah. So with that kind of system, how would you have kids together in the service? So they had their own completely separate service, all the time. Yeah. And one time we tried this thing. It came from a book called The Big Idea, where it was we're going to teach the same message in every area of the church at the same time. So youth group, children's ministry, big church, everybody's going to learn the same topic. But with a church of that size, it was extremely difficult to pull off well. Just at scale like that, it was rough. And we eventually just kind of backburnered that because it was too hard. You have to stay 3 months ahead and have all this kind of creativity happening.
The biggest damage I ever took spiritually in my life was from ministry. Destroyed me.
Oh man, dude, more people than not have said that to me.
Oh, well, but I've also learned how to do exorcism in 30 seconds and not have anyone be destroyed in ministry. First off, exorcism in 30 seconds. Hi, you're demon possessed. Okay, who are you angry at? Who haven't you forgiven? Okay, let's start there. Let's just, let's start with forgive, repent, walk in love. Because that was my thing. I was ticked at a buddy, and I allowed demonic activity to oppress me for quite a while because I had unforgiveness. And to be honest, forgiveness is not a feeling, it is an action. And then allowing God to really minister to your heart, let me see them as you see them, Father, and also end with Father, forgive them. They know not what they're doing, even if they don't care what you think. So that's demonic. And then to prevent people from getting burnout, I'm like, put God first, and then your family, your wife, your kids, and then let everything else burn. And if you do that, like, all right, God, it's your boat. If you want it to flow, you can. And I think I'm joking, but I'm also dead serious right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't, if you try to grasp the results of your work in ministry, that's a fool's errand.
Well,
Can you
like
say
if you try to grasp the results
Uh-huh.
of your work in ministry, that's
to make it happen for yourself?
Or to be responsible, to take responsibility for the results of your ministry. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you do the work and you pray
Yeah.
and you, but if people are not gonna embrace it or accept it, like you can't take responsibility for that. But
Yeah.
even if you have that in mind, ministry can really burn you out. In fact, that church I was at, the first two satellite campuses we opened, because we did all that.
Wow.
One of the pastors, had an affair, moved out of state,
Oh,
blew up
yep.
his marriage. It was bad. The other one's a great guy. I still see him. He's still married, and they have a great relationship. He started a really cool local ministry called Brew Pastors, where they have a beer with you and they'll meet with you anywhere and just talk about Christ. It's a great idea. But his wife told him, "Yeah, I don't think we're going to do ministry again."
Wow.
Like at a church.
Well, it's so, our dynamic is so, especially in the evangelical world, is there's so much expected of the pastor or the leaders.
Yeah.
Like they're expected to pedal and steer and just do so much. Like the community is like pastor super active, rest of the church, at least in a larger church, pretty passive. So I mean,
Right.
It's easy to really get burnt out. And then if you're in a smaller church, more people are going to get burnt out, even if you're not the pastor. But I think, I don't know, I feel like we overcomplicate stuff sometimes. I mean, I've never run a church. I don't know what I'm saying, but we did, while we were at the Calvary Chapel, we did for a short time where we just had a group over to our house once a week, and we shared a meal together, and then we just sat around in the living room and just asked each other, like, how can I pray for you this week? And everyone got prayed for, and then that was it.
Wow.
That was it. But we started to get to know each other, and it started to become like more practical, where if I hear the same thing week after week, let's say you're running the pizza business and there's a pain point, and I'm praying for you about that. At some point, like after like a few months, it's like, well, hey, maybe I could help with that a little bit. It started to become very practical of like how we can intertwine with each other's lives.
I like that.
That's great. I think that's how it's supposed to go.
But we hosted every week and we cooked every week, and you can get burnt out on that too.
Yeah. So. I think I've never heard the 80-20 rule be more true than in a church where, 20% of the people do 80% of the work or whatever. I mean, the only people I got to know at that mega church were the people we did ministry with. And we started meeting with them. We started meeting with them at their house. They had a pool. Our kids were young, so that was a no-brainer. But we're in a different season now, so with our group of friends, we've met. We've been shooting for a meeting once a month, but we kind of fallen off a little bit. Last month, I don't think we met, but everybody gets so busy. But I don't know. Like I had a lot of. It's like anything. If you do anything that's worthwhile doing, it's going to be difficult. there's going to be some disappointments. And, you know, like at the mega church, a lot of people just freak out when I tell them this. And it bothered me for a little while, but then I really accepted it. And I thought, this is the way it kind of needs to be, is that I never met our pastor. We never really spoke. I mean, we had a couple sentences once or twice, and I went there for 11 years. And I spent like 30 grand worth of the church's money, maybe more, I don't even remember, on that computer system. And he never knew me. I probably spent 100 hours or more installing it. I designed the racks for the wall. He would see me there working. You know, I'd be there during the week, and sometimes on the weekends I would set up all this stuff. And then we'd say hi and wave, but he was, you know, I don't want to bug him. He's getting ready for service. He's got to speak in front of 800 people. It's like, I don't want to distract him, you know, that kind of thing. But it did bother me a little at first, but then the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, he's doing his role. I'm doing my role. It's all good. If we end up, you know, crossing paths, great. If we don't, it's fine. You know?
Well, and I think the goal should be like mentoring and training up things in other people so that they're not just totally dependent on this one person for everything. It's like the corner, like EDK's not here running this StreamYard.
Right.
Right. That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, and I got to really shout out to the woman that ran the children's ministry. I mean, she kept me around. I sat in as a teacher in every grade because we were trying to find my fit. Like, she goes, I feel like you're supposed to be here. And she's like, I really value your opinion and your point of view. I just don't know where you fit, right? And so she kept me around. We looked around. I would come to her meetings for her team meetings, which is all the leaders. And then eventually my sister and I did a leadership seminar for them because I had done that in a previous job. And, you know, we went through their personality profiles and stuff. And it was really meaningful for them. And then when the computer system came around, they're like, oh, we really should do that. But I don't know anything about that. And I'm like, well, what software do we use now? And they told me, and I'm like, I just Googled it and said, they have a check-in module for that software. Like, we already own it. They're like, what? No way. Like, yeah. So we just bought some hardware and just, you know, they did some stuff in the church. I mean, it was a pretty big project, but we installed 9 computers and they're still there today. And I designed them so they could be upgraded.
I have so many questions and comments.
But then she's like, she kept me around.
Did I kill?
Like, she was listening to the Spirit.
Bump my wire?
What's that?
Oh, I cut out
no,
for brief. I didn't know. I didn't know if I accidentally killed the stream.
No, we're here.
Okay, so you like this. I don't have Wi-Fi at home, so I'm using my phone as a hotspot on a USB cord. And if I touch it just right, it destroys everything.
Oh, no.
Well, I probably should run. It's good to see you both.
Yeah, good to see you, Risto.
Yeah.
Take it easy,
Risto, good talking.
Have a good evening.
Good talking. All right. It's I got to take off here a second myself.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it's good chatting. I was just kind of sitting around, saw you pop up. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go say hi to Ron.
Yeah, I might do this a lot more because this is fun on Friday nights, just kind of hanging out. It's the big churches, like, I'll use his name. I'm not hacking on him. It's Rod Parsley in Ohio.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with him.
Okay,
Columbus area.
Yes, yeah, that was the biggest church I've ever been to.
That's a pretty big one, isn't it?
That's like 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Now, I did go out to the Dream Center in Los Angeles. It's Angeli's temple, where she started the Foursquare movement. And Amy Simple McPherson, I think it was in the 20s or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that one had 5,000 people as well. But the experience was radically different. At World Harvest, which is Rod Parsley in Ohio,
Yep.
he was the top, and it was a pyramid, and I'm not hacking them, but there were people there that were there for a long time that never talked to him. They were kind of like what you're talking about. And there's a solid structure, very organized. Now, when I went out, and it was anointed, I went out to Los Angeles, and it's Matthew and Tommy Barnett. And it was a 5,000 person church at first. Like the Father gives it to the Son, and it dwindles down to like a few hundred. And then a guy gets shot and dies on his doorstep. And I think it was Matthew is the son. And like he's like Opie Taylor from Mayberry. Like he is just white bread in LA. He does the funeral for the gangster. And what happens is that because he did and he was so broken as a pastor, he did the funeral for the gangster. He puts his desk out on the sidewalk, his office desk, every Tuesday for the whole day. And like, if you have questions, he'll talk to you. And
that's pretty cool.
To make a long story short, he changed the whole environment. He got to know people. They got to know him. He took everybody that nobody wanted. And he is a machine. And he's still Opie from Mayberry. He hasn't changed. But all the gangs respect him. And if I have a choice between the two, I'll take him every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta admit, I gotta admit when the few times when Paul will be doing a stream and then he'll be like, hang on a sec, I gotta go talk to a homeless guy outside, and you know what I mean, and he pauses the video, or sometimes he just would walk away from the video, and you hear him talking in the background, and it's so kind of quirky and clunky, but like I love that. I was like, this guy is for real. This guy is a real pastor. Like it was so authentic. And then a lot of times he'd come back and he'd say something about the guy, like he knows him. Like he talked a bunch of times and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, that was really endearing to me. I'm like, he's legit,
Yeah. Oh, I got to meet him in Chicago.
Oh yeah. I talked to him for a minute. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Did you go to Chicago?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Oh man. What'd you think?
Oh, I thought it was awesome. It was amazing. Yeah. Like it was. I've been to a lot of conferences, some church conferences, and some big stuff, but nothing like that where the estuary meetings really just. Yeah. You just be a couple of minutes and you're immediately into like a deep conversation with people. It was like magic,
Yeah, it was.
And I mean, I would go and get a lunch, and I'd go outside and sit down with some guys, and like immediately meaningful stuff happened. Yeah, I've never experienced that anywhere.
Really? Oh wow,
that's not to that extent,
Yeah. No, I tell you what, it was game on. You walked up to somebody, and if you knew them online. All that history you got to bring into it, and the groundwork. So you were off to the races on the next level. That it was fun. Like I got to meet Grim Gribbs.
Oh yeah,
dude, he's not a small guy.
He was pretty tall. Yeah,
and he's like,
I talked to him for a minute.
Yeah, he's like he's not a toothpick at all.
I think the way he sits on his videos make him look a little.
He's lying to people. He makes himself. Yeah, totally. And who else? I got to meet a few other people. It was just outstanding. Like
I met some really great people, and I've had conversations with a number of them since then.
Yeah,
both over text, and one guy I met was Dr. Jim. I don't know if you ever met Dr. Jim. He was more active on the channel a few years ago, but he's a cardiologist, and he took time out of his day one time to have. We did a video conference like this. We didn't record it because I didn't really want to, but just to continue our conversation that we had at Midwestray. Well, and then he kind of wrote about it a little bit on his Substack. So what a great guy, Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
Well,
I'll tell you what, it's 10 o'clock my time, which is
yeah, me too. That's about it for me. I'm not 25 anymore.
Well, I get up early anyhow. I can't help myself, so it's common. Well, good talking with you.
Yeah, good talking to you, Ron. Take care, brother.
All right, I'll see you in a bit then.
See ya.
Yeah.